Hello and welcome to my podcast, Conversations with Cornelius, where I, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, discuss, chat and hypothesize on all things from fatherhood, marriage, comedy and everything else in between. From time to time, there will be special guests, but mostly it's going to be me and some regular contributors, including my main squeeze, Noelle Patricia O'Sullivan, aka the wife. So sit back, relax and enjoy Conversations with Cornelius. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Cornelius. My name is Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan and I'm in the John Hume War Room, and it is the 23rd of October in the year of our Lord. do you know the way people say that, in the year of our Lord? What does that mean?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Because it's definitely, unless our Lord was born this year as well, it might not be the year of our Lord. It is in fact 2024. Oh no, it's not. It's 2023.
It's not, you simpleton.
But I thought it was 47 there.
You are.
Am I? I thought we established I was 46. What am I?
Yeah, sorry, you're
See,
46.
How am I supposed to fucking know what I am when you don't even know what I am myself? It's your job to know me inside out and back to front, not my job.
Oh God, I do.
Yeah.
Especially after this week.
Well, especially after this particular weekend. We had an amazing weekend. But we'll talk about that maybe or maybe not later on. How am I? Good question, and thank you for asking players. Players, they actually, you didn't ask me at all. The players asked me, and it was a vibrational ask. So I don't know if you heard it, but I felt it. They were like, "How are you? How are you?" And I'll tell you, lads, I'm good today now, but I had a tricky week last week. Particularly the start of the week last week, I had what you would call a poor mental health week. I would actually call it a very poor mental health week last week. Now I'm fine now. I'm grand now. But Monday last week I fell into a hole and I was trying to pull myself out of it with my fingernails, but the more I pulled, the more I went into the hole, and I tell you now, darkness enveloped around my world and I couldn't see the wood from the trees, if I'm being totally honest, and there was plenty of trees around me, my darling wife and my beautiful kids and my lovely house and my fantastic career, but I just went into a fucking hole and I couldn't get out of it, and I was just in a negative mindset, a really negative mindset. And do you know what? You often say this to me, Noelle, when things are going good for me, right? When things in my life are going good, if I don't know if I'm healthy, if work is going well, or if particular projects I'm working are coming to fruition, and everything is working out brilliantly, that is when, for some fucking stupid reason, I go into these holes of depression or fucking, I don't know what you want to call it, into an abyss of absolute nothingness where I can't see the positivity around me. But I'm very lucky that I have an amazing wife who spots all these things and helped me very quickly get out of it. Through, I don't know how really I don't know what we were doing. We were trying to get the habits good. By Wednesday, I had a gig on Thursday. By the time I had to go to do a gig on Thursday in Ballincollig, I was grand again. But I had a wobbly Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. And I'll tell you, the world is fucking hard out there at the moment. And I don't know if people are in the same situation as myself. I have been talking to a lot of people, and you know, I suppose they're nearly all comedians, bar you, Noelle. But like, I'm getting the same vibe that it's hard out there now, and it's not, and then people go, "Oh Jesus Christ, you fucking first world problems, 'tis hard, look at those poor fuckers over in Palestine." And it's like, this is the thing, you know, there's the guilt.
That is what's happening though, that is what's infiltrating. It's actually the opposite of, you can't compartmentalise. You find it very hard to compartmentalise things.
Yeah,
I find it
you're brilliant.
fine. Yeah, I can do it.
I
know
admire.
that,
How do you do that? How do you compartmentalize? Like, for example, if I like the whole Palestine-Israel thing has me mentally drained and exhausted and depressed and full of anxiety and full of fear and anger and disgust and shame and probably a load of more adjectives that I can't even think of right now.
But there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's.
But I'd
nothing
love to be
wrong.
able to park it and get on with my life and then come back to it. And do you know what I mean?
And support them in the best way that you can.
Yes, exactly.
When you can. That's And I suppose I feel like we went on the march last week. We're trying to educate ourselves enough so that we can have the conversation with people, have a conversation with people who, might be mention, the Israeli side or whatever. So we're trying to get more information ourselves so that we're able to discuss it and, be pro-Palestine and actually have the discussion with people. To me, that's how we're helping and trying to help and supporting the causes and things. But I just can't let it infiltrate my world, because I don't know what's going to happen in my own world today or tomorrow that will make my world desperate, is the thing. I think, and Hazel, who listens to this podcast, said
shout
a
out
few
to
weeks
Hazel,
ago,
who is now a patron member, by the way.
Sorry,
After last week's episode, I think we might have shamed you into joining up, Hazel.
And she's the most supportive person in the world to us anyway. She didn't need to join the Patreon. Oh my God.
If I knew that shaming people would get them to sign up to the Patreon, I'd be like, shame on you, you fuckers.
We'll pick somebody else next week to talk about, will we? But Hazel said it one
You're
time
very welcome
we were
to
out
the
for
Patreon.
lunch, and she goes, remember that time when all the people were dying? And they were. There was a lot of people died in both Hazel's family and around us. My dad passed away young, and so when it's ingrained in you, I found anyway that when if it's not on your doorstep, you can't let it in, because you don't know when it'll be on your doorstep.
I wonder, is it because the actual hands-on pain of losing someone, in a tragic circumstance,
young.
that you're at a young age, where it's where a lot of people might say, oh, that's unfair, that's very hard. I wonder, is that one of the reasons why?
I do think so. I think you can sympathize and you can have a lot of empathy for other people, and it's not that I don't have that.
You don't. No, you're very empathetic.
I can't let it into my own person, into how I feel about my day. Yeah. Even if when people die or whatever, for example, celebrities and things like that. I can't.
Well, I'm still genuinely really upset over Elvis.
But I can't let that into my, people who if
he lost
celebrities
away,
died, I can't. That doesn't impact me on my day.
If a celebrity dies?
No.
What would happen if Pink died?
It would be really tragic, and I would, but it wouldn't infiltrate. It wouldn't penetrate my.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, maybe I'm actually quite heartless.
Yeah. No,
somebody once told me though that, you.
I know what you're going to say.
Remember when you said,
I don't know. Taxi.
I don't know if you're really hard or really soft, and that is really true. It is, because I'm really hard on some stuff, and I will but it's self-preservation is the thing.
I think it's a self-preservation technique, probably brought on by a lot of early trauma that you had to deal with in your life. And now, after me saying that sentence, I feel like I should give up the job as a comedian and become a kind of a psychologist. But the only thing is, I'd only be taking on everyone's fucking problems, so that's the problem.
Yeah, and you'd have them all, you'd be the fucking, Jesus. But,
no, but
let's get back to.
I know what you're saying. But no, it was a digression, but it was an interesting digression.
Yeah.
But it was a challenging week for me. I'm only speaking for myself. You had to see what it was like, and it was fucking. It was
but
bad.
I think you pulled. Yeah, so you were. It was an accumulation, and last Monday, so it's bizarre that it's a week from. Just a week ago,
it's so bizarre, and everything is going so great. I'm so.
It's irrational. It's
completely irrational. I'm living in dreamland at the moment. I'm fucking, on tour with my, my favorite comedian. He's my favorite comedian. Do you know what I mean? Getting to hang out with him and work with him on a regular basis is.
I sometimes think Con loves Chris more than me.
I would run off with him. I would. I'll tell you what. I would have his babies, right? I would simulate a pregnancy. I'd simulate a pregnancy just if this is what he wanted, and then we'd have a cesarean, No, we'd have to get all the adoption done. I don't know how he would feel about this, but I would. I'll have, and if he wanted to call the baby Chris, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Or
Chrissy for a girl.
Or Chrissy for a girl. Do you know what I mean? But look, no, what I'm saying is and that's going well. And the other side, life at home is going so well. We're so happy with the boys. You're finished work. Like, you're still buzzing from being finished. Like, I love.
Today's day one.
Today is day one. You're gone from work nearly 5 months now, or the guts of coming up to 6 months actually. And you're still going, oh my God, I'd be going into work today. And I'm so happy with that. Because our home here is, I can see massive improvements in Hunter in particular, who was riddled with anxiety. He's no anxiety now. No anxiety, because you're around all the time. And these are all beautiful, brilliant things. I'm walking and I'm fucking, I'm trying to smoke less, even though you gave out to me for smoking this morning, but that's because I'm having a juice, because I'm a little bit sick now at the moment. And
with a cough.
And I don't want to have sugar first thing in the morning, so I decided to have a little bit of smoke in my lungs as opposed to sugar. It's a choice. Like, we're all going to die, lads. Write that down there and put it up in the fridge. We are all going to die.
I thought you were better, and this is. I gave you a few days. That's it. You get a few days to simply cut the fuck on.
But yeah, it was really weird. And then fucking I was it Wednesday or something like that. I was talking to you and I just went, oh my God, I'm actually grand again. Remember that?
Yeah, you were here. No, you weren't with me at the exact time, but you came out from your office and you were like, do you know what? I actually feel way better.
Yeah.
But it was so swift in a turnaround. But you were I suppose just for the listeners, when Connie says that he was I got a fright on Monday, because you were really, you'd gone for a walk and you came back and you were really depressed. You had thoughts that were scary, and and then it's so swift. That was the real scary part. So you are I hope you don't, I did say you need to start getting therapy, and we have that facility available to us. We're blessed in a sense that we have
their songs
private
are only
healthcare.
Yeah, but their songs are only 3 minutes long.
What?
Therapy.
Is that a band?
Yeah. All right, okay, bad joke.
Bad joke. Shit joke.
Bad
God, I
joke
hope you don't have that on
by
stage.
Cornelius.
But yeah, so that we have to, so just because you're back around now, it was a fairly swift flip in and out of a really dark place. Yeah. So and it's, the thing is that it's irrational, and that's I don't mean that in a bad way, but I mean that it can strike whenever it's so you had absorbed a lot of the Palestine stuff over the few days, but if you're mentally fragile.
Yeah, I didn't realize how. Yeah. Look, I'm grand now, and the one thing that you and I have, which I'm so thankful for, is we have blunt honesty with each other. I can tell you, I'm bleeding out my asshole there. Can you rub this cream onto it? You'll make a joke. You'll tell me to go in to have a shower, and I'll then go back into the bed. I'll lie in the bed. I'll put the hands in underneath my knees, lift up my arse.
Nobody needs this description on their Monday morning or whenever the fuck they're listening to this.
And you'll apply cream to my asshole.
I don't even need to listen to it.
All right? And it'll be jokes.
I know how you talk like this isn't far from the truth of the week gone by. I don't know why you're actually
but I'm just trying what I'm just trying to say is what the point I'm trying to illustrate is we're extremely on, and I'm grateful for this. I was able to come back. I was able to talk to you when I wasn't feeling great.
Yeah.
And you were able to extract how great I was or was not feeling, and there was no there's no pretense. It's just I love this about our relationship, right? And this has gone, Jesus Christ, this is the intro, it's 30 minutes, but I love this about our relationship, is the genuine honesty that you and I have. And it's Monday morning now, by the way, right? And what time is it now? It's it's 25 to 11. We don't script the podcast. We kind of have bullet points of what we were going to talk about, and this hasn't been on any of the bullet points. This is just legitimately coming out of our mouths, unplanned, unscripted. And when you were even saying their dark thoughts, I was like, oh fuck it, all right, she's gone there now, right? But that is indicative of our relationship, like, and it's flipped around to me as well. You tell me immediately, you know, if there's some shit going on with you, you know. And I think that's the first thing that I think made a big difference to me is talking about it to loved ones who do not judge you and want to help you. And if you don't have those, then maybe it's good to go and talk to someone professionally, you know. Well, probably not maybe, probably definitely. But anyway, God Almighty,
that was heavy now to start the podcast.
I hope you're having a good Monday morning wherever you're listening, lads. And I can't understand why this is number one in the comedy podcast.
I know.
Podcasts.
Yeah, the podcasts.
Podcasts. Trending top. Oh, I better bring you onto the stage. And ladies and gentlemen, please.
In case you didn't realise yet.
She is absolutely gorgeous. She's brilliant in bed. And ladies and gentlemen, put your hand. At sleeping. Put your hands together for today's guest, Noelle, Patricia, O'Sullivan, Nee, Marachu, and the crowd go wild.
All right, Con.
All right, how are things?
How are your things? All is great. Yeah, great for a Monday after a busy weekend.
Did we have a good weekend?
Good. We had a great weekend. Yeah, it was a lovely weekend.
Yeah. We might talk about that later on, but we have the important business of trending topics with Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan to attend to first of all, and #Halloween.
#Halloween. Actually, we need to sort out some Halloween stuff because Harvey's got a Halloween. Halloween is big this year in our house. There's a lot of talk about Halloween.
I notice Halloween is big everywhere.
Well, it's gone really big now with decorations. We've no decorations up because we're not actually going to be here on Halloween night. We'll be in Kerry. We are going.
So if you're thinking of burglaring our house, definitely come on Halloween night. We won't be here.
We do have an alarm.
And we also have CCTV. So
we do.
You know, maybe cut them off at the switch.
But yeah, so we don't have that, but there is loads of decorations. Yeah, isn't there? It's big around the place now. Harvey's very excited about Halloween this year. Has been talking about it, but he's trying to get a new costume now, even though he already bought a costume that was meant to be his costume for Halloween.
That kid is always trying to get new stuff.
Always.
Like he has yet to be satisfied. He'll get something, he'll enjoy it for that play, the first play, and then straight away he's on looking for something else. I admire it. I admire the tenacity.
But you see what's happening is he's watching YouTube that is showing him toys all the time. Yeah. He's watching, that's what he watches, is Lego figures.
What about the two of them coming into the bed this morning?
That was very cute.
That was a great way now to wake up this morning, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very, very nice. But go on anyway, sorry.
But Halloween, yeah. So Halloween is big in this house this year, but I don't know. I have to look through his costumes because he got like 3 costumes already this year. And the idea was that one of them would be he wasn't getting a new costume for Halloween. That was the plan. But
do you believe in ghosts?
Do I believe in ghosts? Do I believe in ghosts? It's an interesting question because I'm not sure. I don't really believe in haunted house, that kind of vibe. I don't. But I suppose if you lived in a place, but I do believe in spirits. So
you talk to your dad sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, I suppose so. When you say it like that.
If you think about it.
Yeah. So like, I mean, that's what I mean. I do believe, as I've said to you, I believe that there's something else. Yeah. I'm not going to not believe in something else, because I don't think people end like that's so.
I agree. I don't think I think this is only a part of a tiny little second out of a fucking millennial journey.
Yeah, of course you'd have to go deeper into that shit, though, wouldn't you?
Okay. But I might get a different guest on next week. Yeah.
I'm going to talk paranormal activity with you. But yeah, so I don't haunted houses, that kind of racket. But I suppose people do have experiences where they think their house is haunted. Like
genuinely do, yeah. The banshee, like that kind of stuff. What's your opinion on like banshees, werewolves, vampires?
Oh God, no.
They're all fictional.
Yeah.
So you think a banshee is fictional?
Well, what is a banshee again?
They say a banshee was a spirit, and that it was a female spirit, and if you heard the banshee's cry, somebody would die.
Oh, yeah. Actually,
and it's
a book I
very
read had
specific.
had
Very
her in it.
specific to Ireland, the banshee.
It's associated with the Travellers, is it?
I don't
Like
know.
that they're firm believers in the banshee.
Fair play to them. I don't know. I don't. I'll Google it. But like, yeah, because our lore is very, very interesting. But like, it's all wrapped up in my opinion, it's all wrapped up with like a banshee is as relevant as a vampire or a werewolf. Do you know what I mean? As in terms of believability. How do you spell banshee? B-A-N.
Think of Banshee Bones.
Oh yeah. Banshee meaning. Okay. Oh, a female spirit in Gaelic folklore whose appearance or wailing warns a family that one of them will die soon. Examples: the family is reputed to have its own banshee that howls when one of them is going to die. That's fucking kind of freaky.
Well, we do have a story in our family of like
Shut up.
somebody appearing. Yeah. This is in.
There's a whole. I want to hear the story. There's a whole thing here, and there's a big thing on the banshee. But go on.
Well, this is what I remember of the story, but I could be wrong. But I think it was my grandmother's mother's family. So it'd be my great grandmother.
Mother's family.
Her siblings. Yeah, they.
Uncles or grandaunt.
Oh no, it was my grandfather's family. His mother, I think. But that family, there was a set of twins, and the father was down in the shop, clearing up after the day or whatever, and he saw somebody outside the window of the shop with a candle, and he went into the kitchen and told the wife to go up and check the babies, and one of the babies was dead, and then a few months later, the same thing happened.
And the other baby was dead as well. What?
Yeah, that's what I remember of the story of the.
What?
I must talk to.
How's it I never heard this fucking story? Hold on a second now. So there was a woman outside. So your great granddad was working. Is this down in Waterville?
Yeah.
Was working in the shop. So you'd one of the first shops in Waterville. Your family had one of the first shops in Waterville. Am I right in saying that?
There was two shops, yeah, and the two shops married.
And the two shops married. And so anyway, he was down in the shop and he saw an old woman holding.
I saw some woman outside the window with a light or something. With a lamp.
Candle.
With a candle
with
at
the little
time.
old lamps maybe.
Yeah.
And then said to
Got a shiver and went to the
I
wife
got
to check the
shiver
kids.
there even think, Jesus Christ. Ran upstairs and one of the twins was dead.
Yeah.
And then obviously that's tragic, right? And you know.
And subsequently then a few weeks or months later the same thing happened and the other twin was dead. But I feel like I should have fact-checked. Well, not fact-checked, but I should have spoken to somebody more about that.
The fact
before
that
I
something
brought
like
it
that,
onto
the
the
two twins die separately.
Yes, that's in my head. I'll have to fact-check and come back with the full story next week
Okay.
for Halloween itself.
Jeez. Well, we'll actually we're going to do a podcast on Halloween night as well.
Are we?
We might bring Harvey onto it actually. Be fun, wouldn't it? We're down in Waterville, just like a little section of it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we'll see. But
That's Halloween.
that's hashtag Gardaí resignations.
Oh, they have a high number of resignations, isn't it?
I'll tell you now. When I was looking for the hashtags today, I saw Gardaí resignations, and I actually clicked into it to have a look.
Oh yeah.
Because I wanted to know. But there's like a whole raft of reasons why guards are leaving the why guards are leaving the force. Isn't that what they call it? The force, isn't it?
Yeah.
May the force be with you. Harvey'd love that. If Harvey knew now that it was being called the force,
He'd be a guard.
he'd be like, I want to be a guard. But let me just have a look at it here now, see if I can find it. Yeah, I have it here now. So these are some of the reasons are. Let me find these reasons now.
Well, I suppose it's not hard to understand why somebody would leave the guards, I don't think.
So work culture where bullying, mental stress, burnout and a sense of vulnerability are rife. Of those surveyed, 70% said that they resigned because of unfair treatment and bullying by management. 70%.
70%. Jesus. And that's nothing to do with the public.
Yeah.
That's within the sector itself.
Yeah. And like
God,
these are the people.
that is shocking. That is shocking now, isn't it?
37.5% because of stress and burnout.
I could believe that. That's what I would have thought would have been the 70%.
32.5% What the fuck are getting these percentages for?
Well, they might have clicked a couple of the boxes, maybe.
Oh, yeah. 32.5% because of the lack of resources or a toxic work environment, and 27.5% where they felt vulnerable with it, and felt a lack of support. But you're like, they definitely have to feel a lack of support. Like, you know, if there's a crime happening, and come back here and I'll hit you with my baton.
Baton.
Do you know what I mean? Or cycling after him with the fucking baton. Like, we're a fucking...
I know. But they do, like, I suppose they do say the more guns that you have, the more guns that will come out. Like,
well, yeah.
But
yeah.
the gun crime is low in Ireland. Like,
gun crime is low.
Do you know, so maybe there is some rationale. But
they have to go to some... Like guards are getting the like, don't get me wrong now. They get a... Like, I'm not the guards' biggest fan, in general. Especially just road traffic, really, for me. It's just road traffic. It's just, I just feel sometimes, like, for example, when we were going through the roundabout there last week when we were going down to Kerry, remember you were like, oh, you can go that way now, the way you got the penalty points the last time.
Yeah, now it's changed.
Now
They've
it's changed
the layout, yeah.
If I got caught going through a roundabout in a technically illegal way that I didn't even fucking know existed, to be quite honest, and got penalty points and that, and got a big fine for that, and that's what.
And they didn't. And the thing is that on that road, they didn't. I said they changed the layout. They didn't actually change the layout at all.
No.
Of that road.
They just changed the rule.
They just changed the marking, like on the ground, saying you can now go forward from.
Where's
this
my
lane.
money back, guards?
Yeah, where's my where take off my 3 penalty points so that I can bring down my car insurance, since we have about 9 between the two.
And it's just,
us.
and you know what? And to be honest, right? And to be honest, okay, because the guards are just fucking normal men and women, like you and me, really, behind it all. And like 70% of them have resigned because of unfair treatment and bullying by management. They're under a lot of pressure to go out and go, what are your numbers? Are you telling me now that you were out working there for 6 hours and you only got 4 people speeding? Are you joking me? Do you know what I mean? So they have to...
They're under pressure if they let a fella pass that was going 65 in a 60 or whatever.
And I suppose it's just the world we live in as well, as like, you can't... Like, if you meet a guard, he has to stick to the books, like, do you know what I mean? Or she has to stick to the books. These are the rules. I'm sorry, these are the rules. There's not, like... You'd like there to be a 5%... margin for empathy or for like your own call on the situation.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
They lost that, I suppose, because there was so many guards taking the piss as well, knocking off the tickets or with all that, like
that's
all
true.
that scandal.
Pulse.
Like, that's how they lost that ability. But like, that's really shocking that it's within the force. Like, it's not the public. Like, because that's the part I would hate is the hatred. Do you know, like that a lot of people, and the stick that they would be, and stick is such a mild way of putting the abuse actually that they get from
absolute
the public,
dogs
like,
abuse,
dogs
abuse. And like I know there's one or two people. I know one person who listens to the podcast here who's a guard, and he's a sound fella, and genuinely dead on sound bloke. And I know him with years, and I presume that everyone's like, most guards are like that. But like once they put on the uniform, they have to act completely differently to the way they actually are. I mean, if I was up on stage being like, militant, or like if you when you were inside and work.
But it's no more than you. People expect you to be
funny off stage.
And by Christ, he's not.
And I'll tell you, if you met me last Monday,
funny
you'd be like, I'm not coming to your show.
But do you know
I'm
what
not coming to your show on the 27th of January in the Everyman. Tickets are flying. You please get your tickets. I promise it's going to be good.
Yeah, you've got a lot of listenership now on this. Come on. Now
come to my show.
I know some of them are in America and stuff. So we don't expect you guys to come. But if you want
no, I do expect anyone. I expect people to buy expensive airplane tickets from Boston, fly over, land, get a hotel, come to the... I expect it. I expect nothing else from the loyal listeners to Conversations with Cornelius. #flood.
Flood. And we're not talking about periods.
No. Okay. Oh dear.
No.
She's just lowered the tone.
Yeah.
You're always giving out to me now for lowering the tone. That's disgusting, man. Well, it's not really, I suppose.
Well, actually, I've been listening
to...
This is what's happened is I've been listening to some podcasts. Says a person who's been on this podcast frequently enough for the last... How long is it going?
I don't know.
2 years, but now I can say I actually listen to other podcasts now.
Yeah.
I have started to listen to 1 or 2 podcasts, and the tone can be quite low.
Yeah.
On some of them.
Well, I've always tried to keep the tone nice and low here, you know.
You do try.
I try, and you're always giving out to me for like and trying to raise it. But no,
But
you
yeah, so
what you're
floods.
you're okay. So floods, and you're not talking about menstrual. Can't even
Menstrual
menstrual.
cycle.
I do like minstrels.
Yeah. Best not to get them confused though.
Definitely.
I'd love it all menstrual.
Christ.
Oh fuck it, Caddy, you God fears fucking weird altogether. You'd like a
A
menstrual.
bag of blood. Here you go. Now some congealed blood there for yourself.
Stop it. Stop
I
it,
lowered
stop
it
it,
even
stop it,
lower.
stop it. Yeah, so floods. Yeah, well, we get flooding around here, but we didn't get anything. Oh my God.
There was a massive
desperate.
storm in Ireland last week, guys. For those of you who are listening in different countries, not only am I jealous of your beautiful weather, but I'm just I'm just jealous of you in general. But we had a massive storm, and Middleton in Cork got flooded the fuck out. The whole main street was like up to your chest. Like no, I suppose it all depends on how tall you are as well. But like the people that I saw that were being interviewed looked of reasonable height. And what's that there now?
Sorry, my phone went on by
It's all right.
mistake.
But
Beat me now.
yeah, that so there's like it's just mad the way nature can just come along, and you think you're going away there, and there's people there and their businesses are wiped out,
Yeah.
and in Middleton it's had flooding issues in the past, and you can't get insurance
No.
because they won't insure them. So now there's like businesses there, livelihoods, cocoa clubs and fucking pubs
Everything.
and restaurants
Cafes
and cafes and hairdressers, and they literally have had thousands, in some cases hundreds of thousands of their merchandise and of their business wiped out because of nature. And it brings me on to the question of, I am definitely noticing in my life, and I must get Conspiracy John on because he doesn't believe in climate change at all. He doesn't.
Really?
He doesn't know. He thinks it's a force. I want to get him on and talk to him about this, because I definitely am noticing. Was it always the case? But more floods, more storms, more extreme weather.
I think part of that is that we definitely we're seeing more about it.
This is true.
You would have before it would have been 5 minutes on the news about the flooding in Middleton on RT News.
This
Now
is very
you're
true.
seeing Twitter and Facebook, and you're seeing
TikTok.
live TikToks of
Well,
this
this is where I got all that information. So this is, not only are you beautiful inside and out, but you are actually quite clever as well.
Yeah.
It is true because Mallow used to have same problems down through the years, and they're after fixing a lot of the flooding issues inside there. But that when it was bad, you might see it on the news.
You wouldn't, because you wouldn't even go into Mallow,
No.
you wouldn't see it because
You wouldn't.
were in Ballyclaw.
But you'd have to tune in to watch the news on that day at 9 o'clock or at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, you see nothing. And this probably comes back to the whole fucking anxiety thing as well, or fucking, thing that we'll round off the podcast lovely here, is are we consuming too much content? Now, I will say this, right? If you are going to cut down on your content, don't cut down on this particular podcast. If anything, double down on it and sign up to the Patreon because it's unbelievable. But anyway, I digress. Are we consuming too much content?
Oh, big time. 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
I agree.
TikTok is just like
It's like crack cocaine for dopamine.
it's like last time. It's a different world. Like you go into it and then it gets
We're all
very.
addicts.
I find and I just think with TikTok it's worse than the other ones because maybe I don't know enough about Instagram and Facebook, but they're the people that there's ads, but they're your friends, they're people you've signed up to, there's stuff you've things. Like TikTok changes so much on the algorithms, and it's I've watched what is it, 15 seconds of that. So now TikTok starts sending me more stuff like that. So it puts you down into holes, like things.
Well, like even with the conflict in the Middle East now, the whole Palestinian thing, like my TikTok is flooded with pro-Palestine videos, and the massacre that's happening out over there, all from a Palestinian point of view, right? And I have then, because of you, have gone, okay, this is absolutely fucking terrible, but I want balance, so I'm going to have a look, and I typed in one or two things from an Israel point of view, and since then, and I only watched maybe one or two videos. Since then, I've been shown a lot of that stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like I saw, like some of it's disgusting, but anyway, I'm not even going to get into it. But it is definitely, their algorithm is very intuitive.
Yeah.
Like I think even to the tune of, even if we're talking about something, it picks it up from a sound point of view. Remember you said there recently you were talking to the girls about something, and the next thing fucking shit started popping up in your...
No, I was only thinking it. I hadn't even said it to you. I can't even...
it's not going to get into your brain now.
No, but it was whatever... It must have been... I hadn't Googled that particular thing, but I was definitely that I had been like... looking at something near it, but like it I just think it kind of follows they know if somebody had Googled this, the next thing they'll be Googling is or something like that, or something like, like for example, if I bought Amazon baking tins, they'll start flooding you with Kenwood, a new mixer. You know, that kind of thing. Like I think they definitely... It's also linked, because it's all linked to your Wi-Fi. It's linked to what you ask Alexa.
Your cookies have something to do with it then as well, except all cookies.
Yeah.
You know, and like I've never turned down a fucking cookie. Like, do you know what I mean?
Any form of cookie.
That concludes Trending Topics with Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan. Now, guys, before we go this week, we're just going to tell you what this week's Patreon episode is all about. So,
you can tell me too.
After a tough kind of week, I came around on Thursday and I had two brilliant gigs supporting Chris. One in Ballincollig in the White Horse, and one above in Drogheda in the TLC a theatre, an absolutely gorgeous, phenomenally beautiful theatre with all the mod cons inside in the middle of an industrial estate. Would you believe? Yeah, it was mad. So I was kind of floating on that. But earlier in the week, Deirdre O'Kane, the famous Irish comedian, got in contact with me and asked me would I open for her in Killarney in the INEC, and I was like, yeah, I'd love to, and I was saying to you, and then she also had said that there was a room going on the night if I wanted to stay, so I was like, will you come and will we get the night away, yourself and myself? And yeah, we headed off on Saturday, and I'll tell you this now for nothing, right? It was unfucking believable crack from the minute we left the house. Noelle accidentally ingested...
well, not accidentally.
Well, accidentally on purpose, ingested...
Some.
Like half of one of my brownies, one of my magic brownies. And... let's just say the next few hours after that were absolutely fucking wild.
My mind is just going to it now. Who listens to this fucking podcast?
Yeah, well.
I know who's on the Patreon, but now you've just told everyone on the main page.
Yeah,
podcast.
Well, they're not going to hear it unless they fucking sign up. And if they do, that's great. Fair play to them. We'll just know they're nosy bastards. If they're your friends.
We like nosy people. It's okay.
It's okay to be nosy. But we ended up...
We thrive on it.
We had a great... you and me... you actually said something to me coming back in the car yesterday. You were like, my heart is full. Like, we filled up the tank again. We needed it. You and I needed it. I don't think we even knew we needed it, to be honest.
But as well, we were really lucky because the way the weekend had fallen, we were just really lucky because, like, Alana was babysitting, and she's just fantastic with the boys.
Yeah.
Like, they went to Doneraile Park, they went to McDonald's for breakfast yesterday morning, and like that is just when you're away and you're getting messages like that,
Yeah.
It's really hammering down any guilt, but also the guilt is gone from me anyway now because I'm at home with them all the time.
Yeah.
So I have zero guilt going away from them.
And I love going away anyway in general. Do you know what I mean?
You love going out to the next room from them.
Yeah.
But like, and then Harvey was on a play date in his cousin's and he had a ball there as well. So I knew that they were having
so they were being
such a
minded
great
by
time.
They were being minded by family as well, and like we just knew that they were being minded in a way that was like, you know, not like it wasn't a babysitter. It was like someone who's coming in who loves them.
Yeah. So it really filled that side. So we were really able to, knowing that the boys were having a great weekend as well, really helped to just chill out, like even yesterday. Yeah,
and we went down to Killarney and we ended up going on the mother-in-law of all sessions with Deirdre O'Kane and Declan O'Rourke as well, the fucking famous Irish singer-songwriter. And
who Connie fangirled
for
half
fuck's
today.
sake.
Oh my god,
it was like so embarrassing. I was looking at his fingers at one stage. He's got like these most beautifully I was going to ask him, are they pedicured? But there's no way they're pedicured.
Feet, that's manicure is the hands.
Or manicured, or whatever the fuck it is.
Sake.
Well, like, I've never had a manicure. But
to hear more about Connie's fangirling,
listen to the Patreon, because it's actually, we're just about to record it, and I'm even just getting giddy even thinking about it. It was absolutely fantastic, and it filled our cups up. And tune in, guys, tune in. Anyway, till then, staying by the wall. Love you. Bye. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams.